My wanderings brought me back to my last stop, Trinity College. Well, in this building behind me here is where the Book of Kells is held, written over 1,000 years ago by the monks here. The Book of Kells is the first 4 Gospels, inscribed in Latin with beautiful illuminations by the monks. Right above it is the long room, completed in 1732. Looks a lot like that. Yep, you guessed it. No cameras. This is a poem written by a 9th century Irish monk, and it's kind of been adopted by the Book of Kells exhibit here. It's called Pangarban, which is white cat. I and Pangarban my cat, 'tis a like task we are at. Hunting mice is his delight, hunting words I sit all night. Better far than praise of men, 'tis to sit with book and pen. Pangar bears me no ill will, he too plies his simple skill. Oftentimes a mouse will stray into the hero Pangar's way. Oftentimes my keen thought set takes a meaning in its net. Gainst the wall he sets his eye, full and fierce and sharp and sly. Gainst the wall of knowledge I all my little wisdom try. Practice every day has made Pangar perfect in his trade. I get wisdom day and night, turning darkness into light. And that's the name of the exhibit here, the Book of Kells, Turning Darkness into Light. In Dublin's fair city, where girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone, as she wheeled her wheelbarrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive. So the offshoot of all my delays, sleeping in, and getting to Dublin basically a day late, is that I only got to spend a whole day in Dublin, if that. And I only got to spend that day in Dublin because I decided to take a flight to Paris, my next stop, instead of my original plan of taking the ferry boat. Had I taken the ferry boat, it would have required at least a 3-hour train ride from Dublin, and then taking the ferry overnight to Paris. That was 80 pounds. For 132 pounds, I'm flying to Paris in 2 hours. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is I have no idea where I'm going to be sleeping tonight. I may be sleeping in the airport. These are the reasons why you need to book ahead. Way ahead. Have I made enough mistakes for you to learn from yet? I certainly hope so. Because I'm tired of making them. I finally made it to Paris, flying a budget airline, going into an airport that was about an 1.5-hour bus ride outside of Paris. And then I began the great search for a hotel, since I had failed to book ahead. Soon after getting off the bus, I found a hotel that was only 465 francs, which is about $80. And I balked at that, and I looked around a little bit, came back. He had given that room away, and now it was 530 francs. Passed on that. About an hour later, after walking around mostly neighborhoods, I finally found a hotel that had room. So here I am, biting the bullet, paying about $650, about $100. A nice room, but still $100. It's only 2:30, so I thought, well, what the heck, might as well. So I'm going to bed. Well, the first order of business is finding a new and more affordable hotel, but only after downing the included continental breakfast of croissants and café, and so they should be for $100. One look out the window says, I'm in Paris. And one look out this window says, I'm at the Paris Air Show. I've wanted to come here ever since my first flight instructor told me about it over 14 years ago. There's plenty to see here. The newest aircraft from just about every major aircraft manufacturer around the globe. Many are from Europe and unfamiliar to us in the United States, including the largest, the Antonov 225. There's flight demonstrations every afternoon, featuring some of Europe's premier defenders yanking and banking. The Aerospace Museum here at Le Bourget provides a look at some very unique aircraft. So unique, there's only one of each. And perhaps this is why it's in a museum. We don't need no stinking spinners. And a very special treat is a view of the very first Concorde, inside and out. It slices, it dices, it juliennes fries. Even if you aren't a die-hard aviation nut like myself, the Paris Air Show is a great place to get up close to parts of an airplane you'd only see if you built or maintained these giants. So at the end of my first day in Paris, I'm already trying to figure out how I'm going to get to my next stop, London. Planning ahead. Good. Here at the train station, and I went to the information booth and spoke to them in English, and they gave me these really nifty little timetables, and they're all in French, which does me not much good. Gives me some information, times and prices, but as far as days they run on, I have no idea with French, so there it is. To do the trip the old-fashioned way, taking a train from Paris to Calais, a ferry from Calais to Dover, and a train from Dover to London, it's going to take a long time. It's going to take about 2 hours just to get from Paris to Calais. Whereas if I go by the Eurostar, it's going to take 2 hours to do the whole trip, and I'll have a whole new adventure. Of course, it's probably going to cost me about $200. So, what to do? First idea that comes to mind is to grab some chow, and then try buying a ticket on one of these nifty little automated ticket seller thingies. But unfortunately, it didn't like my credit card. Then it was back to my hotel to enjoy the view. Look out the window, says, yep, I'm in Paris. At around $55 a night, this hotel, found in my trusty guidebook, was a step down in price, and believe it or not, a step up in quality. However, there are some things overseas that really makes one miss home. The old handheld shower routine is right on the top of my list. This has got to be the smallest elevator, or lift, that I've ever been in.
Croissant, baguette, liverwurst, tea, cafe, orange juice. This is the breakfast included each day.
It gets you off to a quick start, ready to go, so you're ready to do some serious touristing. You're probably thinking, gee, he didn't show much of that air show. Have you ever seen a Crazy Ivan? Well, here it is. Crazy Ivan. A handy little maneuver to get the bad guys off your tail, demonstrated here by the Russian Su-30. Now that looks like fun. And how about a stall followed by a weightless freefall? Crazy Ivan. A full afterburner barrel roll. An aileron roll. And finish it all off with a high-speed pass.
The maneuver starts with a sideways roll to the inverted, and then a pull out in a half loop.
Are you really supposed to do that kind of thing with a helicopter? I gotta say, that looks like one wild ride, and if they gave me the chance, I'd go.